We've analyzed thousands of medical studies and only brought you the best evidence. Want to know what really works? Then stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.
All right, let's talk about one of the highest stakes missions in all of science, the race to stop a new deadly virus. We're going to go inside the investigation and uncover the modern playbook scientists now use to hunt down these invisible killers.
So picture this, a totally new virus just appears out of nowhere. It's spreading fast, people are getting really sick. It's a scary situation, right? But while the world is just starting to react, a global team of scientists is already on the case. The big question for them is, where on earth do you even begin?
Well, the answer is you have to think like a detective. I mean, fighting a pandemic really is like solving a massive high-stakes crime. You've got to profile your culprit, figure out its MO, and then, only then, can you build the perfect tool to take it down. So let's follow the clues. Okay, first step, the forensics. See, a virus is basically a hijacker. It breaks into our cells and takes over. So if we're ever going to stop it, we have to figure out exactly how it pulls off that hijacking. And this leads us to our first crucial piece of evidence. It's called the contactome. Just think of it like a complete map of the virus's criminal network. It literally shows every single protein in our own bodies that the virus makes contact with, all of its accomplices that it needs to survive and replicate. And you know, for a virus like SARS-CoV-2, this isn't some small-time operation. We're talking about a huge network. Researchers mapped more than 200 of these direct interactions between the virus and our own proteins. And this map, it is absolutely vital. It's like getting a list of every co-conspirator, which gives our detectives a bunch of suspects they can start investigating for a weakness. Okay, so now we have the contactome, our list of accomplices. But, you know, a list of names only gets you so far. A really good detective needs to know the plan. How does the virus actually use all these accomplices to pull off its heist? To get how the heist works, we need to look at something the virus hijacks. It's a totally normal process in our cells called autophagy. Really, all it is the cell's own little recycling system. It's constantly breaking down old parts and turning them into reusable materials. It's super important for keeping our cells healthy, which of course makes it a perfect target for a virus. And here's the playbook for a nasty virus like SFTSV. It's a 3-step heist. Step 1, it tricks the cell into going into recycling overdrive. Step 2, it grabs the little bubbles, the vesicles that are created by this recycling, and turns them into its own secret factories for building new viruses. And then, step 3, it uses those exact same bubbles as getaway cars to bust out of the cell and go infect more. It's kind of brilliant in a really devious way. So at this point, our detectives know the virus's network and they know its methods. The next logical step, right? Recreate the crime scene. We need a safe place to test out different ways to stop this thing. Now, for years and years, the way to do this was with animal models, or just growing cells flat in a petri dish. But honestly, that's like trying to solve a crime using a single, blurry, black and white photo. But today we have something so much better. We have things called organoids and organs on chips. And these are like creating a full, high-definition, 3D hologram of the entire crime scene. And I mean, these aren't just random blobs of cells. We're talking about miniature, working versions of human organs, all grown from stem cells. This tech is a total game changer. It lets scientists watch the viral attack happen in real time, inside a model that acts almost exactly like a real human lung or kidney. The data you get from that, it's just worlds more accurate. Okay, so we've got a clear profile of the hijacker. We've got a hyper-realistic crime scene to work with. Now our detectives can finally move on to the last phase, engineering the perfect weapon to take this threat down. And let's make this real. Take the case of the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus, CCHFV for short. This thing it's really nasty. It's carried by ticks, causes this horrific fever, and the WHO has flagged it as a priority pathogen. What that means is we need a cure for it, and we need one fast. So where do you even start looking for a weapon against something like that? Well, you go to the key witnesses, the people who actually survived an infection. Think about it. Their bodies fought this virus and won. The secret to how they did it, the blueprint for a cure, is literally flowing through their veins. And that secret? It's a special type of protein called a neutralizing antibody. The best way to think about it is like a super advanced homing missile. The immune system builds it for one job and one job only, to hunt down a specific virus and physically stop it from getting into our cells. It just blocks it right at the door. So, of course, scientists found these amazing antibodies in the blood of survivors and isolated them. But here's where it gets really cool. They didn't just stop there. They took what nature made and brought it into the lab to see if they could make it even better, to engineer it and give it superpowers, basically. And the result is this incredible super antibody called DVD 121-801. What they did was they took two different really powerful antibodies and basically welded them together into one single molecule. It's called a bispecific antibody. And because it's 2-in-1, it can attack the virus from two different angles at the same time. The result? In studies, this thing was so powerful it could actually provide protection even after an infection was already underway. That's a huge deal.
So let's take a step back. What does this all mean? You've got the forensic mapping, the crime scene modeling, the advanced weapon engineering. When you put all these pieces together, what you get is a powerful, repeatable playbook for fighting pandemics in the 21st century. So here it is, the playbook, boiled down to 3 key steps. Step 1, map. You create that contiguum, that complete map of all the virus's accomplices inside our cells. Step 2, model. You recreate the infection in those super realistic organoids to really understand how the fight goes down. And step 3, engineer. You use all that intel to build targeted weapons, like those amazing bispecific antibodies, to stop the virus cold. You know, this playbook gives us capabilities we've just never had before when it comes to fighting new viruses. We have the tools, we have the strategy. The big question, the one that really matters, is when the next one hits, and we know it will, can we run this playbook fast enough to actually get ahead of it?
If you want to analyze medical questions yourself in seconds, using evidence-based medicine principles, the link to the service is below the video.